Trump and USCIS deliver a powerful final warning. In a dramatic turn of events, President Donald Trump and the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services have delivered a forceful, last-minute message that signals a radical shift in immigration and voter registration policies. With sweeping executive actions and pointed rhetoric, the Trump administration is reshaping how citizenship is handled in America and urging individuals to act swiftly before stricter rules take effect. The threat of crime, Trump's tough stand on urban safety. President Trump wasted no time addressing what he described as a national crisis fueled by cities governed by Democrats. For too long, innocent Americans have been left vulnerable to criminals unleashed by failed policies, he asserted. He underscored that in cities like Chicago and Illinois, Democratic leaders resist deploying the National Guard, even amid rising murder rates. Trump's executive orders now require cash bail for dangerous criminals, with no exceptions, reversing prior policies that allowed habitual offenders to walk free within hours. USCIS prepares to tighten citizenship rules. In parallel with law and order reforms, USCIS announced imminent changes to citizenship requirements. The new director emphasized that citizenship is a privilege earned through full adherence to legal standards. We must ensure applicants truly understand their rights and responsibilities, he explained, referencing upcoming revisions to the naturalization test. A key change includes reinforcing English language proficiency requirements. Reading and writing a sentence isn't enough anymore, the USCIS chief stated, citing congressional mandates to ensure applicants grasp the Constitution and the civic duties of citizenship. Applicants are urged to complete the process as quickly as possible before the updated tests roll out in the coming months. Voting rights and election integrity overhaul. Another landmark policy update involves voter registration at naturalization ceremonies. Executive Order 14148, signed by President Trump, restricts voter registration to state and local election officials, excluding outside organizations from participating. The goal, the White House explains, is to shield new citizens from political manipulation and safeguard the integrity of elections. Trump criticized civil groups that linger outside USCIS offices or supermarkets to register new citizens, arguing that the vote is sacred and should not be influenced by partisan ideologies. This measure has drawn sharp criticism from immigrant advocacy groups, who claim it suppresses civic engagement. Nonetheless, Trump remains steadfast, describing it as a necessary defense against widespread voter fraud. The road ahead, what you must do now. Given these sweeping changes, the Trump administration urges all eligible immigrants to finalize their citizenship process immediately. The window is closing, USCIS officials warned, and once the reforms take effect, the process will be more stringent. Applicants with even basic language skills are encouraged not to delay. The reforms also aim to streamline enforcement efforts, using legislative strategies such as grouping nominations to avoid filibusters and ensuring that executive orders are upheld with a simple majority vote if needed. The USCIS reforms reflect a broader push to redefine national identity and civic responsibility in alignment with constitutional principles. Whether applauded or criticized, these changes mark a turning point in U.S. immigration and election policies, and the clock is ticking for those who wish to comply. Trump administration blocks groups from voter registration at naturalization events. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services announced a new policy that bars non-governmental organizations from registering voters at naturalization ceremonies. Under the new rule, only state and local election officials are allowed to provide voter registration services at these events. The decision affects organizations like the League of Women Voters, which for decades have assisted in registering hundreds of thousands of new citizens. USCIS justified the change by stating that NGO involvement was inconsistent across locations and that ensuring these groups are nonpartisan imposed a burden. However, critics argue that the move restricts new citizens' access to voter registration, particularly among immigrant communities. Selena Stewart, CEO of the League of Women Voters, condemned the policy as an effort to limit new citizens' rights and intimidate immigrant populations. Republican-led states have recently passed laws tightening regulations on third-party voter registration, leading some organizations to halt operations due to financial and legal pressures. Advocates maintain that NGOs play a critical role in registering underserved populations, and excluding them weakens democratic participation by making it harder for new citizens to engage in political process. USCIS insists that voter registration forms and information will still be available through official channels. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
Trump and USCIS delivered a powerful final warning. President Trump and the US Citizenship and Immigration Services have introduced significant changes affecting citizenship, crime enforcement, and voter registration. These new policies aim to tighten citizenship requirements, including stricter English language tests and ensuring applicants fully understand the Constitution and their civic responsibilities. USCIS is urging immigrants to complete the process quickly before the new rules are enforced. On the crime front, Trump criticized Democratic-led cities for rising violence and pushed for tougher measures such as mandatory cash bail for dangerous criminals. He cited high-profile clients to support his opposition. In a major election reform, Executive Order 14148 restrict voter registration in naturalization ceremonies to state and local election officials, excluding non-governmental organizations. The administration argued this prevents political manipulation and protect election integrity, while critics say it limits access to voter registration and surpasses civic participation. These sweeping reforms reflect the administration's focus on law and order, national security, and redefining citizenship requirements, urging immigrants to act fast before the rules change.